Hello, Leo. Welcome to May 2019. Alrighty, let's see what comes out for you guys. Sorry, I know it's like really plain back there. I'm going to be creating a little like official setup. So I never really did that when I moved into this apartment. So we'll come up with something. But it's plain this month. Okay, you guys. I feel like Leo has had this whole being there for everybody else kind of vibe. Being there for everybody else. And now it's really time for some self-care. It's really time for you to do the mani-pedi, do the massage, the facial, and really just hone it in. You've been working hard. You've been out there. You've been doing a lot of things, probably a lot of feeling of like rush or a lot of movement or just a lot of kind of needless activity, just being busy. And now Queen of Coins comes out and says, you know what, it's time to slow it down. The only kind of motion that's really needed is purposeful motion. Right? Not just action or activity for the sake of having activity in your life, but what is this going to bring me? What is the fruit that I am going to be able to harvest if I do this thing? And you may be feeling like, okay, Mars is going to be coming into your 12th house, so that's going to slow you down. But there's going to be the pull of like really wanting to be at home, and then all the 10th house activity with Venus and Mercury and the Sun and Uranus in the 10th house. So it's like your outside world and your inside world are very different, and they're going to be very different for the next couple of months. So in the outside world, only do what really makes sense. Only do what is going to get you to that next level. Because everything else is just a waste of energy. It's going to be important for you to maintain your energy as much as possible, to keep it. Because there's going to be a feeling of like wanting to hibernate, like when you come home from work or on the weekends, you're going to be like, no, like don't make me go outside, don't make me do it, Stay in, snuggle, be with the people that you love. And that's it, that's it. That's all I think that's really where your heart is. Or it's going to be. Two of Swords. There's this feeling, this kind of general sense in the air of keeping your perspective. I think this is across the board. It's not just Leo, it's across the board. If you're feeling as though you don't know which direction to take, you don't know which thing to do, it just means don't make a decision right now, because you haven't found that peace, or you haven't found that centeredness in here. You haven't found a way to stop that dialogue from driving you crazy. Now is not a time to look at your thoughts or to give credence to your thoughts. This is a time to follow your heart, okay? Your soul is speaking to you. That's what I love about the Queen of Coins, right? I don't think your soul is the thing that has you going, right? That's a little bit of ego, That's a little bit of what the world is expecting of you, what your friends and your family expect of you. It's you time now. And the slowdown is going to be real. The slowdown is going to be real, and that voice coming from here is going to become louder and louder. And the more you listen to it, and the more in tune with it you can be, I think the more simple your life is going to get. So, what's going on? Two people looking in two opposite directions, but so incredibly made for each other. Perfect partners, perfect romantic partners, perfect business partners. But maybe the ideals, the goals, the end game is shifting for you both. Maybe. I'll hold them over here. This may be a time when you'll need to practice separate togetherness. Okay, honey, you go do that. I'm going to do my thing. I've been there supporting you. I got to support myself right now. It'd be nice if you could support me too, but I know you got to do what you got to do too, you know? So it's kind of like being together and doing your own separate thing. It doesn't work against each other necessarily. It's just maybe you need time. Maybe you just need space. Maybe you need to just take a breather because ideals are just different. That's fine, you know. We need to remember that nothing in life is permanent. Unfortunately, the two coins coming out here really like things to be permanent and predictable and mundane and regular and, you know, not spontaneous at all. Very not Leo vibe. So you're kind of in that, you know, you have your way, they have their way. And unfortunately, bridging the gap might be a little bit of a struggle. So for you, that's why the internal piece is even that much more important, because you might be driving yourself crazy thinking like, oh my God, what's that person thinking? What if I do this? And, you know, it's all this nonsensical projections. It's all just, it's not even real. Don't entertain that kind of stuff because it isn't real. If you need answers, if you need validation, just have the conversation that you need to have. The good news is that Mercury in Taurus gives us that power to just say the things. You might be slow and hesitant and resistant initially, and so might the other person. But when it needs to be said, it's gonna get said. And it's gonna have results. It's gonna have results. Positive results. The best thing you can do for yourself and for your relationships, romantic or otherwise, is to do your own thing. Do the thing that makes your soul happy. No apologies. It is not a time for Leo to be apologetic. That is not your vibe at all, right? Leo is the one that, wakes up in the morning is like, okay, my heart wants to do this today. I'm going to play hooky and go surfing. And you just go do it because you're not really worried so much about the things that you know don't ultimately matter in your heart. Like, you know that, that life is meant to be enjoyed. So the Lovers comes through. And I think this whole shift in mentality, like, it's really attractive. People can't help but to love the people that know what they want in life. People can't help but be really drawn toward passionate people. People that make declarations. It's none of this passive aggressive shit that too many people have going on in their lives. It's none of that. Non-apologetic. So let's go through one card at a time, starting with the Lovers. First of all, this is your own internal stuff coming together to a place of feeling sure. Two of Swords, if you don't feel sure, it's not the right time to make the decision. That's all. That's all the resistance and the hesitation is an indication of. It's just not the right time, But you're going to be coming to a place of feeling sure. That's pretty much a guarantee. I think the Taurus activity is really helping us out with that. It's like, okay, Taurus being a sign of survival, a lion that needs dinner is pretty sure that it needs dinner. And that's kind of what you are. You're a lion. A lion that walks through the grass without any apologies is like, yeah, I'm at the top of the food chain. What? Like, what are you going to do about it? It's just, you're in your essence right now. And when people are in their essence, they become magnetic, irresistible magnets for the things that they want in life. It's that time when you need nothing that you then get everything. So this is a time of shedding superficial needs. This is a time of really asking yourself what has been done for the sake of other people and making other people happy versus what's been done for making yourself happy. And I suspect the list of what you've been doing for yourself is that big. So it's about increasing the one for you, Taurus season. It's about yourself. It's okay to be like selfish or whatever. And then shortening the list of the things you do for other people. It's okay to say no. Because you're inviting this in by saying no. You're creating that space, right? When you have or create a vacuum, it needs to get filled in, that the stuff, the energy, it needs to fill in. So here's the Seven of Cups, which I always say it's like a card of confusion. It's a very Piscean kind of energy that a lot of people don't feel very comfortable in. I don't think that you're super comfortable in this energy. Even though you're capable of really deep feelings, the confusion is not what you like, right? This is, I think, the only kind of sign that can really vibe with this is Pisces. That's it. That's the only sign that can vibe with this and like be okay with it. But everyone else is like, oh, I hate this feeling. I don't know what to do, But this is an indication that smoke is clearing and you are walking into a space of clarity. And ultimately, it's joy. 10 of Cups is the ultimate in success. And it's heart space driven. All this stuff, it's heart space. Even the coins, right? Even the King and Queen of Coins. And when you give your partner space, and you take the space that you need, it gives you the opportunity to relearn about yourself and then to come together in the future and relearn about each other as well. Can we not forget that relationships and connections, friendships are the best training ground for us to learn about who we are? And it's our job to teach other people about who they are, not through criticism and judgment, but through, honest expression of our feelings and how we perceive things so that we can kind of meet in the middle there. And then we need to be able to receive that kind of criticism and feedback as well. And it's the joy, and joy is the product of that kind of a, let's become better together kind of situation. Another coin card flipping out. Really flipped out. Knight of Coins. So we're getting all the Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, which we're in Taurus season right now, and we have the Capricorn stuff. Nothing's really going on in Virgo right now, but that's okay. So we do have the Earth energy at play, in the Earth houses, 10th house, 6th house for you guys. So what is this now? I think this is an essence. I don't necessarily see it as being a person. Some of you might have had a third party thing that happened, but the third party is like so completely not important at this point, at this juncture. Maybe this is a big kind of time of forgiveness, really, and also really forgiving yourself. Maybe this is a time of forgiveness that's needing to be had. But the third party, if that's what it was, the person that was engaged in that, totally not even a thing anymore. Now, in terms of this being an essence, the essence of Virgo, which is service driven. The small things, helping someone fix their computer or remembering to pick up the paper towels at the grocery store. I think that those are the things, those are the kinds of gifts. And that is the kind of expression of love that Leo really needs, because that's what Leo has been doing for everybody else. All the little things, sweeping everything up, being there. And now I think that it's time for you to really receive this. And I think this partner, whether you're the king or queen, irrelevant, right? This partner of yours or this other person, this friend, father, whatever, I think they're going to make that effort. This is small effort, and it might initially be annoying, but if you interpret it as being annoying and not being good enough, then it won't be. But if you interpret it as them trying to bridge the gap, then I think you're going to fall in love with what's going on. And you're going to really appreciate this. You're going to really appreciate that they fix that thing on your computer, or really appreciate that they cooked you dinner. And it's genuine appreciation. What else? Interesting to have the Lovers and the Devil come out. Two of Coins, Two of Swords. You're still teeter-tottering though. See, when you're teeter-tottering, it's just simply an indication of just don't make anything final. Don't sign the paperwork. Don't, just like keep it as impermanent as you possibly can right now. And for those of you who are like trying to date a Leo and you're like, no, don't say that, I want them to commit. They just need space. And it probably has nothing to do with you. Two of Coins is an interesting energy. It can indicate choice. The Lovers can also indicate choice, feeling like you're needing to choose something. But I often see the Two of Coins as being artificiality, being the things that we juggle and the masks that we wear. And how many masks do we wear? We have the mom mask, the best friend mask, the PTA parent mask, the professional client services mask. You have all these different versions of yourself, these faces that you put on for everybody else. And, sometimes it's easy to get lost in all of those identities. So Two of Coins I always see as being like, okay, well, which mask are you going to wear today? But ultimately this reading is put them down. Seven of Cups reverse, put them down. It's just too exhausting. I just really don't see you guys as having the energy to do that anymore. You just don't have it. You don't have the wherewithal to withstand that. And that's why first card out, Queen of Coins, it's all about simplicity. It's about purposeful stuff. And it doesn't matter who you disappoint. Disappointment is part of life. Period. Doesn't matter who you disappoint. You got to do what you got to do. And then you got the Devil card, the bottom center of the reading. Now, I always say this is an as above, so below, because one of the hardest things that we as human beings experience is looking at the outside world, looking at our issues, looking at our problems, and accepting responsibility for those things. Accepting the responsibility for where you are. And to admit to yourself that something big, something deep needs to really change. And that you cannot any longer be who you were. Common theme with the astrological environment, especially Leo, because it's in the 6th house, which is the house of perfection. Like this is house of Virgo. The essence of perfecting oneself to become whole as one, so that you can then begin integrating with the world as a whole individual, right? Libra is about one whole person with another whole person, creating balance for one another, changing, transforming, learning about spirituality, and then eventually utilizing your knowledge to make your way 10th house in the world, right? And then again, transcending back into the oneness. So, the 6th house is really rough. If anyone has a low vibe Virgo in your life, you know how hypercritical and mean and sarcastic and pretty much kind of bitchy they can be. So if you have that kind of person, maybe you're like, well, am I doing that to myself too? And did I really create this stuff? The good thing about the 6th house is the brutal honesty with oneself that you're capable of. Because life is just gonna, if you're not honest with yourself, life is gonna be honest for you. It's showing you where the attachments are, the attachments in your ego, right? The things that you define, when we define ourselves as anything, that is then an attachment. We're constantly casting out these lines, these fishing lines to things. And every time you think, I am this, I am that, I am this, you're sending out a fishing line and you're attaching to those things. And those attachments then become your tether. So this is not a time to be tethered. This is a time to release the tethers so that you can be more fulfilled in life. So if you are experiencing a lack of fulfillment somewhere, because ultimately the Ten of Cups indicates that this is an opportunity for you to attain joy, bliss. I'm using the word bliss because that's like what the Buddhists use. The bliss point, which doesn't exist in the extremes. Clearly it's something passionate, right? Clearly there's heat going on here. Love is not heat. Love is cool-tempered. Okay? It's smooth. It's not jagged. So you're experiencing extremes within yourself and probably with another person. It's fine. We'll clarify the devil in the comprehensive for sure. So don't stress on that. There's definitely more to this story, I'm sure. So let me go ahead and put the camera down now. Kind of see. Okay, I'll turn the... Okay, now, where's the deck? Okay, here it is. Just take time for yourself. Like if you get nothing else from this reading, take that away from you. Just take time for yourself. No apologies. Six of Cups. Pleasure. And the Empress. So the Empress energy with the Queen of Coins energy, it's very earthy. It's very Venus, right? She's Venus. Venus oriented with a card that literally says pleasure at the bottom. To take pleasure in your life. And I think the Taurus with the 12th house Mars, well, Mars, you might be, I don't remember exactly the days off the top of my head, but with the Venus coming into Taurus and then Mars in Cancer, which is your 12th house, like these are going to be really relaxed placements for you. So it's good. You're astrologically supported to like take a beat. But see, the Empress is one that is attachment free. You know, she's the essence of the one who is full and complete. So you're making your way there for sure. It's a little bit of a battle though because of the presence of the devil. But the more honest with yourself that you are, it's like no problem. Honesty is the key, that's all. Honesty is the key. Really identifying. Oh, and then we get the sun. So this is my astrology deck. It's called Blue Moon Astrology. And then we get your ruling planet, the sun, card number 1. Numero uno, right? Yours truly, you. Living in your vibe, living in your element, right? What did I say in the beginning? Leo just owns their heart. They just know what they want. They know what they need. And that's it. Boom, period. Simple. No explanation needed. Okay? All right, so let's look at the devil first. Since that's really the only energy that's, it's really the only energy that's concerning. Everything else is pretty great. All right. Something you regret. Something that you feel really bad about, maybe. Something that pulled you away from your comforts, from what you knew. But also ultimately is the key to, I don't know, 10 of Cups, Ace of Cups. Sometimes the devil is just what needs to happen so that we can see the light, right? The darkness is just what needs to happen so we can see the light. Leo, if you had any kind of a feeling of a perfect little world, it's definitely not like that anymore. Definitely not like that. See, a card of independence. I can't stress that enough. Separate togetherness. If that's what you need, take a break. Clearly communicate your needs. Just so you guys know, for those of you who are new to my channel, these are the cards that we'll cover in the comprehensive. That link will be in the description box below the video, okay? Wow, a lot of aces. Emperor and a King of Coins. That's stubborn. That's stubborn, like real stubborn. So double lovers. Damn. Okay. So passion, yeah. Major choices, yeah. But it's more about coming together. Hangman reverse, not surprised with the 7 of... Okay, so... Devil, again, all these came out for the 7 of Cups. So are there 2 people? I feel like you're coming out as the feminine energy, whether you're a man or a woman. Leo's coming out feminine. The other person or the other people coming out masculine. Interesting balance of the 2. Lots to talk about with that. Why is love so prominent for Leo? Leo might have a lot of options. You know what they say? Feast or famine? I feel like this is a feast. Wheel of Fortune and the 8 of Wands. This is a feast. Leo, it's possible that you're kind of in the driver's seat here. And that maybe this is why the hesitation is so important. The feeling of hesitation is important because you need the period of time to process what you're going to say to this person. Because when you say what you need to say to this person, it's shutting off other options for you. And it's kind of solidifying a future path. And I think you're just in this place of like, I really need to think about what I want. And of course, by all means, do it. Some of you are going to know exactly what I'm talking about, and you're going to know, and you know what you're going to say to this person. I would wait until after Mercury comes over and after Uranus in Taurus, if that's possible. Some of you are going to blurt it out when Mercury hits Uranus. Okay, fine. Just so long as it's, really well thought out. Think about it now. And others of you, you're not going to choose any of these. None of these people, none of these options. You're going to choose yourself. Okay? So obviously nothing wrong with that. But, you'll know that choosing yourself is a little bit of a sacrifice. Okay, so we'll get more into it. I didn't mean to really cut you guys off with such a cliffhanger. You guys know I like to at least close it off enough. But again, like if you just don't know what to do, choose yourself. Okay, that's the most important thing, is that you can live with yourself. And I don't even know why. I just happened to pick up this deck just randomly, just handling it. And this was at the bottom. So Wheel of Fortune twice, upright both times. So there you go. All right, Leo. I'm going to leave you with that. If you want to join me for the comprehensive, again, that link will be down below. Thank you so much. Take care.